Hello, welcome to Pantheon of the Geeks. You join us for an unboxing of the Stormcast Eternals. All goodness and endless spells and such like. Because I don't know what they are. It's just goody stuff to me.
Goody stuff. Underneath there is the book as well.
Yeah, I've got the battle team.
So it's the full set of new Stormcast Eternals stuff.
It is.
For Claire.
For me.
This is now Claire's faction officially.
Yay!
I've lost all rights to the faction. Claire's got it. Oh. There you go. So we'll get to unboxing the spells and put them together at the end. Before that, we shall... These are war scrolls. Look at that. That's huge.
That's huge. I was quite surprised.
I know that we're also going to be doing the Nighthawk ones, but just for comparison on this video, just so you can see, that's the Nighthawk thickness of the Nighthawk ones, and that's the thickness of the Stormcast.
Yeah.
It's like a brick.
It is. Like there's a lot in there. But I'll open this up.
So in the next video we'll be doing Stormcast. Not there. There you go. See, I'm losing it today. It's too hot today. That's the problem. We're going through a heat wave, and it's too hot. The Nighthawk ones will be in the next video, but this is just the Stormcast ones. There's the dice.
Yeah.
Obviously we got the book. We'll look at that in a second.
Right. Okay, so we get some little tokens.
Oh, tokens.
Yeah. Take that away. It's got tokens. So what's it say on there? Command points. Mind lock staff.
All right.
Mystic shield. It looks like all the spells and stuff like that. Yeah. So here we have all the... Wow.
So they are all the smaller sized ones.
Yeah.
Which is good news. Which is why the box is like a brick.
We've got Neve, which is the one I painted.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Garviel. Oh, it's the dude from
Steelheart's Champions.
Yeah.
Yes, I haven't done a video on the General's Handbook yet. I am going to do one, and the Koro book, but I just haven't time, it's been that warm. But one of the things I did notice is it did have the points costs for the shared spy stuff in there.
So you've got all your Retributors, Vanguard, everything in there.
The battle with that sword.
What are these? Oh, Lord Arcanum.
These will be the ones that take two
cards.
Two cards.
Like that.
I like these actually.
Yeah.
Better.
Even bigger dude. Tora Lion or something. Dracolich. Yeah, so got loads there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eudicators. Those dudes. My mind has gone. My head is just completely mashed with this hate.
Well, just for everyone at home, the names are actually on the cards.
Yeah,
so those dudes can be roughly translated as
dudes.
Van der Hammerhand.
Yeah. That dude. In.
There's your dice.
There's my dice. There's my dice. Nice. I like them.
Skulls.
Skull being 1.
So 1 and 6.
6, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like them. I like the colour of them actually.
So a navy blue.
Mm.
They roll.
They do.
They're dice. There you go.
That is what they are.
And then we have, again, it's quite a thick book, Stormcast Eternals. It's all Stormcast, isn't it?
It is all the Stormcast, so I think it's all the chapters as well.
The chambers.
Yeah. Just saying.
Many people would agree with you.
Chapters, chambers.
Space Marines, Stormcast Eternals. Okay.
Yeah. So
we have the intro bit. Then we have the Warriors of the Celestial Temple. There we go. Some nice background pictures. Sigmar's name. By Sigmar's hammer. Life and Death level listing. Lots of background information, which is what we want really.
Nice picture.
Really cool picture. That's the
new
cover
guys.
art for the box set. There we go.
I have to have a read of this.
Thousand Storms. Age of Myth. So it does go through all the history. Age of Sigmar over there. Gone through the Age of Chaos. The Heldenhammer Crusade. The Nexus Wars. The Opens of the Bridges.
Seeds of Hope. Triumphal Silence.
So we've got a little bit about everything.
Yeah. It's like everything that's been going on in the background.
Descent of Meteors. And then the Storm Hosts. Chamber Command. So that shows you what all those little symbols mean.
That's fucking.
Masters of Celestial.
War of the Heavens. So these will be all the beasties, I bet.
Yeah, Children of Draconia. Draconithum.
Hunters. That's the new dude.
Draconithum.
Nice. So that's the little commander, and then
These are all the different chambers, aren't they? The
Yeah.
Warrior Chamber, the Extremis Chamber, the Sacrosanct Chamber, which is the newest one. The one you like them all. Lord Commander.
Oh, look, one of my dudes.
Yay.
Yay!
One of your dudes.
Yeah.
Like
That one.
that one.
Yeah.
Stop shaking. There we go.
That's actually the model of Neve,
Yes.
but I painted her up as just some random.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me army. Just because I like the model, I thought it was quite an awesome model.
Seems to have taken that colour scheme.
I do actually, it's nice and easy to paint.
It's inch proof. Hallowed Knight.
I'm sure he does. Although I didn't do it for him.
That's actually one in your colours as
Yeah.
well. See the white shoulder pad. Funnily enough, the very first model I test painted when they first brought them out
It was in that
colour
colour.
scheme.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, we want to do that one. And then I was like, no, I'll just do it in gold. Well, mistake. Anyway.
That's a good one in red. That one there. Red colour.
Yeah.
I did one in red, didn't I? For
For
the
a painting competition.
yeah.
It was really good, actually. Celestial Prime. There we go.
I've got him somewhere.
Yeah, I've got one of them. It's not mine anymore.
We didn't really do anything with them, the ones we
No.
got. We were that excited about getting them, and then we just...
Painted them, and then...
They just didn't look right. I think that's what it was.
Thanks.
What? No, I'm just saying. Got told off after.
You can tell off now what you're on about. Here's a legend. Oh, isn't it? New Battalion.
Ah, that's it.
So this is about each of the characters.
He's the guy from the first box set into that Vandus.
Hammerhand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vandus Hammerhand. Shield of the Three Peepers. The Eyes of the Eagles.
With my eyes.
Yeah, every time. Not one of your guys.
Not one of my guys.
Hammer of the Paladins.
Shattering Strike.
There is lots of background information.
There is,
I'll put it
and
that
then
way.
we've got all the...
So we've got Marks of the Righteousness, Righteous. We've got some of the chambers, haven't we? Celestial Vindicators, that's your dude, isn't it?
That's my dude.
Yeah,
Although they look green in there, they're actually blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a turquoisey colour, isn't it? So depending on quite how they've printed it, it's either going to look green or blue. Cool.
You see, that the purple ones for you would be really good, because I know you like purple, so the Blades of Dawn. Or
To be fair, yeah.
The Sigmarite Brotherhood as well.
That's pretty much how mine I painted.
Yeah.
The lines of Sigmar. Even though that wasn't what I was basing them on. Looking at them now, though, I think I prefer that one. Blades of Dawn. I think the silver in there as well. But anyway, I've lost my Stormcast.
Oh, there's a few more.
Oh, crikey.
Wow.
There's loads of them.
There's loads of them.
There's bloody thousands of them. There we go. So just all ideas if you want to make your own up, obviously gives you some ideas of what they've come up there. Quite like the cross colours on the crimson spheres there. Shapes? Serifs.
Serifs.
Can't read sideways. I keep telling everyone
Stop
this. No one believes me. Alright, so a nice massive battle scene there. Dark Helm in the distance.
Oh, poor Archeon. It's just like a little glimpse of him now.
I used to be cool.
I used to be big.
Yeah, you built the whole one, but no one likes you now. Oh.
So I got some of the models there painted.
Yeah.
Again, in the usual gold colours.
In gold.
I think that's what does it for me.
It's too much gold.
They don't seem to... I don't know.
There's not enough variation in the box themselves.
Yeah.
It kind of puts you off. But when you see them painted like this,
yeah,
it is a lot better.
or even in the shops, because the shop seems to go for the gold.
They kind of have to, because what they do is they've got to paint what's on the box art so that people associate what's on the table with what's on the box art. So they know
I think
what to
that's
buy.
a shame, to be quite honest.
It is, but at the same time, I know why they do it. It's product recognition.
Yeah.
Maybe they should just have chosen a more interesting colour to paint them in the first place.
Yes.
And maybe they will, because, you know, it changes for different eras and stuff. Like, they have changed the box art over time. Maybe they will change the box art, these ones. Because these are in a lot of the artwork.
They are.
So that might become, who knows?
Who knows?
Depends. Then maybe they look too much like Ultramarines. Too blue.
Too blue. Yeah, probably.
Right, I can't get them to page from over here.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
What's that? That's a nice artwork. That's a new model.
Which one? That one?
Yeah.
That's nice. See me wanting that when that comes out. See so.
I think they're the new ones as
The
well.
new ones as well, yeah. Those
are the ones that look like... They look like dragon cats.
Yeah, and
I wonder what they're called. Dragolines. Oh.
Yeah.
Dracolines, yeah. I was like, they look like dragon cats. They're called Dracolines. Fair enough.
She looks cool.
Yeah. That's one thing I do like about the new Stormcast. There's a lot of female ones.
There's a lot of women in there, which bodes well for the sisters.
Yeah, it does bode well for sisters, because these look really nice models.
Yeah.
It adds some more variation to the Stormcast. So it's what's needed, really, to stop them looking just like cookie cutters.
Yeah.
Which I think was one of the problems when they first came out.
Yeah, they're all a copy of each other.
I mean, I know Space Marines are as well in a lot of way, but I don't know. I never felt that way about Space Marines, that they were just cookie cutters, even though technically they were. I didn't feel that way, but when they brought Stormcast out, it really felt. But these ones, they're beautiful.
They are
all
nice.
the robes have got on them.
Yeah.
Just the extra bits of detail, the spell effects, the fact they're not all wearing helmets. You can see the faces. I think that was meant to be a thing, like, oh, you don't see the faces. No, it's just...
People don't
rubbish.
want that. People want to see the heroes underneath, you know, they're a hero.
That's just a cop-out for not making faces.
Yeah, very much so.
They've got Necrons, they're fine. We'll just leave Necrons, they don't need to see faces, because they're just robots.
Yeah.
But, you know, it makes you think, what's in the armour, you know. So you never really trust them. But now they've got like faces, some have got helmets. I like the options they've got now.
No, definitely.
Much better.
Yeah. Very nice.
Obviously they've got the blister.
Yeah, I'm really liking that they've got some sort of ranged attack now. As well as the arrow things that they've got as well.
Yeah, they've always had the...
Yeah,
they've always had the bow
things.
guys, and they had a version of them with the storm bolters.
Yeah, whatever
bolt
they were.
stormers, with a version that they were called. But no, now they've got some proper artillery in there, and these guys as well with the massive arrows.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. The Vanguard Raptor with Hurricane crossbow. Was it those?
Yeah, those were the ones they brought previously.
Yeah.
These are the Vanguard models. See, when they brought these out with the birds and stuff, these ones, I really liked them. I was going to think I might get back into Stormcast, but I never did.
And now you've lost them.
Yeah, it's my own fault. And that was that was the first model I truly liked.
That one
was the actual dragon, which is obviously I'm going to like. Star Drake. Celestial Splendor. So just about collecting an army basically at this point.
Painting.
I've got some painting features.
Yeah, weapon effects for files and such like.
Alright, cool.
That's good.
Fur cloaks, etc. Plumes.
Bases.
Little bits in here and there. It's always handy.
It is actually.
Feathers.
Patterns for the cats and things. And
yeah.
Griffhounds more than anything. Marks of battle.
And step-by-step Stormhawks. There you go.
Oh, no, I'm following the one on the app, you see, and I've kind of adapted it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've noticed. It's cool.
Yeah, I mean that's using Temple Guard Blue, but I find that you can reach the same stage if you use Ahriman. 1,000 Suns to start off with, I think it is.
Well, to be fair, the thing about that was when was it Warhammer Quest came out.
Yeah.
And I followed the painting guys who painted the Tadine stuff. It was using Temple Guard Blue because Ahriman Blue wasn't out at that time.
Yeah.
So then they brought Ahriman Blue out when the 1,000 Suns came out.
Yeah.
And it's a very similar colour. It's slightly different.
You look at the model, that.
It's a very, very similar colour. I do think Ahriman Blue and the 1,000 Suns Blue are better at achieving that colour.
Yeah.
And eventually when I get around to painting my Tadine stuff, that's what I'll use.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot nicer. For me, I find it a lot easier to use as well, and it achieves the colour that I want, and it's near enough. Damn it, like that. So, but again, it's preference.
Preference. And this one's starting from a blue undercoat as well. This is from grey, which is my go-to colour now.
Yeah, rather than black. Also, it's got a painting guide for most of them actually. That's a nice one.
Yeah, I like the purple one, obviously.
Yeah, the shield would be a pain to paint.
The Warbreaker.
Yeah. But
yeah, but white and purple go really well.
They do, yeah.
Other Starmosts got down here. Astral Templars. Knights of Azir.
Crimson Fist. Yeah. Sorry, Fists of Sigmar, right? It might as well be. He's probably got a Crimson Fist underneath that shield.
That looks like Crimson Fist.
That one? Yes, it does actually.
That's the Tempest Lord.
Yeah.
So, Forces of Sigmar. So, just about how you use the book. And then we're on to the battle traits, Scions of the Storm. Claire's going to read those out. We're just going to put the book at a slight angle so she can read them. Okay,
so instead of setting up a Stormcast Eternal unit on the battlefield, you can place it to one side and say that it's set up in the Celestial Realm as a reserve unit. You can set up one reserve unit in the Celestial Realm for each unit you have set up on the battlefield. At the end of your movement phase, you can set one or more of the reserve units in the Celestial Realm on the battlefield more than 9 inches from any enemy units. Any reserve units in the Celestial Realm that are not set up on the battlefield before the start of the 4th battle round are slain. That's the Scions of the Storm.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
That's deep striking, basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shock and Awe. Subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks that target friendly Stormcast Eternal units that were set up on the battlefield during the same turn. Storm Hosts. If your army is a Stormcast Eternals army, you can give it a Storm Host keyword. All Stormcast Eternal units in your army gain that keyword. If a model already has a Storm Host keyword, it cannot gain another one, but it does not prevent other units in your army from having a different Storm Host keyword. You can either choose one of the Storm Hosts listed below, or choose another Storm Host you've read about or created yourself. If you choose one from the list below, all units with that keyword benefit from the extra abilities listed for that Storm Host on the page indicated. If you choose a different Storm Host, simply pick the Storm Host that most closely matches the nature of your own Storm Host. So Hammers of Sigmar, Hallowed Knights, Celestial Vindicators, Anvils of Heldenhammer, Knights Excelsior, Celestial Warbringers, Tempest Lords and Astral Templars.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, you guys want to pause the camera? There it is. Everything Claire just said.
So take it that Storm House, if you've made up one of yourself, you can still use one of those and get the abilities for that.
You just let your opponent know that's the one you use, and you've just got to use it for your whole army. You can't just go, oh, that one for that unit, that one for that. No.
Yeah.
You just pick one for your whole army.
That's good though, because then at least if you do make your own, you can still use the abilities of other.
It's much like if you like, say for instance, the salamanders, but didn't like painting green, so you invented your own chapter based on the salamanders, like the black dragons or something like that, and just use their rules.
Cool.
It's something we've always done, but at least they're recognising it.
Yeah.
So we've got command traits there. I'll read these out. But what I'll do, I'll show you that. and the artifacts of power. Feel free to pause this. I'll give them a quick read out. Command traits, we have Shielded by Faith, which is roll a dice each time you allocate a mortal wound to a general. On a 5+, that mortal wound is negated. Consummate Commander, if this general is on the battlefield at the start of your hero phase, roll a dice. On a 4+, you receive 1 extra command point. Cunning Strategist, after setup is complete but before the battle begins, D3 friendly Stormcast Eternal units can move up to 5 inches. You've got Zealous Crusader in at 4, you can re-roll charge rolls for this general. In at 5, Staunch Defender, you can add 1 to save roll attacks for that target, friendly Stormcast Eternal units, wholly within 9 inches of the general, if that Stormcast Eternal unit has not made a charge move in the same turn. Right, okay. And then we've got 6, which is Champion of Realms. Pick one of the general's melee weapons and add 1 to the attack characteristics of that weapon. For the artifacts of power, we have Strife Ender. Just pick one of the bearer's weapons and add 1 to the attack characteristic of that weapon. Add 2 instead, while all of that weapon's attacks target a chaos unit. 2 is Blade of Heroes. Pick one of the bearer's melee weapons. You can re-roll failed hit rolls for attacks made with that weapon against a hero or monster. Hammer of Might in at 3. Pick one of the bearer's melee weapons. If the unmodified wound roll for an attack made with that weapon is 6, double the damage characteristics of that weapon for that attack. Fang of Dracothian. Pick one of the bearer's melee weapons. You can re-roll roll wounds of a 1 with attacks made with that weapon. The Obsidian Blade. Pick one of the bearer's melee weapons. Improve that rend characteristic of that weapon by 1. And Gift of the Six Smiths. Pick one of the bearer's melee weapons. Once per turn you can re-roll 1 failed to hit roll or 1 failed to wound roll for attacks made with that weapon.
Cool.
On the second page we have Heaven Wrought Armours. That. And we have Artifacts of the Tempest. Let's move up again just to read those. So we have the Armour of Destiny. Armour of Destiny. Roll dice each time you allocate a wound or mortal wound on the bearer. On the 6th, that wound or mortal wound is negated. Armour of the Silvered Sigmarite. Subtract 1 from hit rolls subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks made with melee weapons that target the bearer. Thank you. Drake Scale Armour. You can reroll failed save rolls for attacks that target the bearer that have a damage characteristic greater than 1. Mirror Shield, subtract 2 from hit rolls for attacks made with missile weapons. Spell Shield, the bearer can attempt to unbind 1 spell in each enemy hero phase in the same manner as a wizard. If the bearer is a wizard, they can attempt to unbind 1 extra spell. Feather for Torque, reroll successful hit rolls for attacks that target the bearer made by models that can fly. Artifacts of Tempest include the Talisman of Endurance, adding 1 to the bearer's wounds. The Obsidian Amulet, which each time the bearer is affected by a spell or endless spell, roll a dice on a 4+, you may ignore the effects. R3 is a Luckstone. Once per battle you can change 1 hit, wound or save roll, or 1 roll that is randomly determined as a damage characteristic to the roll of your choice. The roll must be made for an attack made by the bearer, or a save roll for an attack that targets the bearer. Seed of Rebirth. In your hero phase, roll a dice for the bearer. On a 4+, heal 1 wound allocated to the bearer. Sigmarite Pendant. The bearer is slain by wounds or mortal wounds inflicted by an enemy unit. Roll a dice on a 4+, that enemy unit suffers D6 mortal wounds. And the last one is Quicksilver Draught. Once per battle, at the start of the combat phase, the bearer can drink this potion. If they do so, the bearer fights at the start of the combat phase before the players start picking any other units to fight in that combat phase. And there's more!
Whoa!
So we have Treasured Standards, Mystic Lights.
Do you want me to read that out?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Okay.
So the Treasured Standards is for heroes with totems, is it, sir?
Treasured Standards, Stormcast Eternal Hero with Totem only. So D3 Artifact of Power. 1 Hurricane Standard. You can re-roll and charge rolls. Sorry, you can re-roll run and charge rolls for friendly Stormcast Eternal units wholly within 12 inches of the bearer at the start of the phase in which the roll is made. We've got the Lishbone Standard. At the start of your hero phase, you can heal 1 wound allocated to each friendly Stormcast Eternal unit, wholly within 9 inches of the bearer. And we've got Pennant of Sigmar. If friendly Stormcast Eternal unit wholly within 24 inches of the bearer fails a battle shock test, roll a dice. On a 2+, only one model flees from that unit. Coward. So we've got Mystic Lights, Lord Castellant, Lord Veritant, or Knight Azeroth only. Artifact of Power. Shriving Light. Subtract 1 from the bravery characteristic of enemy units while they are within 6 inches of the bearer. Subtract 2 from the unit's bravery characteristic instead if it has the chaos keyword. Fury Brand. In your hero phase, you can pick one melee weapon used by a Stormcast Eternal hero within 6 inches of the bearer. Add 1 to the attack characteristic of that melee weapon until your next hero phase. Lantern of the Tempest. Reroll unmodified hit rolls of 6 for attacks made with missile weapons that target friendly Stormcast Eternal units wholly within 12 inches of the bearer. And on the other side we've got Celestial Staves and Scrolls of Power.
Yeah. So, Celestial Staves, Lord Arcanium or Knight Incantor. It's a Staff of Focus. Once per battle in your hero phase, the bearer can use this artifact. If they do roll, so add blah 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 blah. Add 1 to the casting rolls for the bearer until the end of that phase. In addition, if the bearer starts a spell that inflicts any mortal wounds during that phase, add 1 to the number of mortal wounds inflicted by that spell. Mindlock Staff. Once per battle at the start of the enemy phase, you can pick an enemy wizard within 12 inches of the bearer, and that wizard can't cast any spells this phase. So get stuffed, in other words. That is a very good staff, by the way, if you're fighting Nagash. Yeah. You're a wizard, you may not cast any spells. Sorry, I don't care if you're Nagash or not. That's great. Can't use it once per battle. That's a disadvantage. In your hero phase, this is the Staff of Azir. In the hero phase, if the bearer successfully casts any spells that are not unbound, subtract 1 from hit rolls for targets that target the bearer until your next hero phase. Okay, so Scrolls of Power is a Lord Arcanium or Knight Incantor as well. And that's a Scroll of Unravelling. Once a battle at the start of the enemy hero phase, the bearer can use this artifact. If they do so in that hero phase, the enemy casting rolls are equal to the spell's casting value, are unsuccessful, and the caster suffers D3 wounds. Again, that's a good one. Scroll of Condemnation. Once per battle in your hero phase, the bearer can use its artifact. If they do so, pick an enemy hero within 12 inches of the bearer. To the end of that turn, add 1 to the wound rolls made by Stormcast Eternals that target that model. And Storm Scroll. Once per battle in your hero phase, the bearer can use the artifact. If they do so, pick up 6 different enemy units on the battlefield and give each of them a different number from 1 to 6. Then roll dice. If there is a unit whose number is the same as the roll, that unit suffers D6 mortal wounds. Okay. Whoops. Got the camera there. So, spell laws are next. Lords of the Storm. So feel free to pause this. Law of Invigoration. And we have prayers on this side. There's a lot there. Lord of the Storm is Lightning Blast, which is a casting value of 5 and causes D3 mortal wounds. Starfall, casting value of 5, range of 12. The caster roll dice for each enemy unit within 3 inches of that point. On a 4+, it suffers a mortal wound. Thundershock, value of 6. If cast, roll dice for each enemy unit within 6 inches of the caster that is visible to them. On a 4+, they suffer a mortal wound. In addition, subtract 1 from total hit rolls made by that unit until the next phase. Azurite Halo. Azurite Halo is a casting value of 5. Successfully cast, pick a friendly Stormcast Eternal unit within 12 inches. To your next hero phase, each time you make an unmodified save roll for 6 for that unit, your attacking unit suffers a mortal wound. Chain Lightning is a casting value of 7, 24 inches. Unit picks up a D3 mortal wounds and roll dice for each enemy unit within 3 inches of the first. On a 4+, they also suffer a mortal wound. And Stormcaller. Stormcaller is a casting value of 7, successfully cast. Roll a dice for each enemy unit on the battlefield. On a 6, it suffers D3 mortal wounds. Ouch. That's a good spell. Law Invigoration. Terrifying Aspect. Cast value 5, successfully cast. Pick a friendly Stormcast Eternal unit within 18 inches of the caster and is visible. Till your next hero phase, subtract 1 from the bravery characteristic of enemy units while they're in 3 inches of that unit. Celestial Blades. Casting value 5. Pick a friendly Stormcast Eternal unit within 18 inches. And then add 1 to wound rolls for attacks made by that unit's melee weapons to the next hero phase. Speed of Lightning. Cast value 5. Again, pick a Stormcast Eternal unit within 9 inches of the caster that is visible to them. You can reroll charge rolls until the next hero phase. Prayers, we have Divine Light. In your hero phase, pick a unit wholly within 18 inches of a priest, and on a 3+, the prayer is successful. The prayer is successful, and you choose an enemy unit, you can reroll hit rolls of a 1 for attacks that target that unit until the end of your next phase. The prayer is successful and you choose a friendly unit, reroll unmodified hit rolls of a 6 that targets that unit until the next hero phase. Blessed Weapons. In your hero phase, pick a priest within 18 inches. A unit within 18 inches of the priest, even. And then roll a dice. On a 4+, the prayer is successful. If the prayer is successful until the next hero phase, each unmodified hit of a 6 made by a unit that inflicts... Each unmodified hit roll of a 6 for an attack made by that unit inflicts 1 extra hit on the target. This will be 2 hits instead of 1. Make a wound and save roll for each hit. Bolster Faith. In your hero phase, pick a friendly Stormcast Eternal unit within 9 inches of a priest and roll a dice. On a 3+, the prayer is successful. The prayer is successful until your next hero phase. That unit does not take any battle shock tests. Abjuration. At the start of is number 4 on the start of the enemy hero phase, pick an enemy wizard within 12 inches of this priest and roll a dice. On a 3+, the prayer is successful. If the prayer is successful, the priest can attempt to unbind 1 spell cast by that enemy wizard in the hero phase at the same manner as a wizard. 5 is God King's Aspect. In your hero phase, this priest can take on Sigmar's appearance. If they do so, roll a dice. On a 3+, the prayer is successful. The prayer is successful until your next hero phase. You can subtract 1 from the bravery characteristic of enemy units while they're within 6 inches of the priest. And Translocation. In your hero phase, pick a friendly Stormcast Eternal wholly within 9 inches of the priest and roll a dice. On a 3+, the prayer is successful. And if it is, you can remove that unit from the battlefield and set up again anywhere on the battlefield more than 9 inches away from enemy units. But it may not move in the subsequent phase. So next up, I need to go and get a drink. And we have, it's just so hot, mount traits. We have traits of the Noble Beast, Celestial Lineages, and Ancient Powers. Okay, so feel free to pause that, have a good look at those. And on the other page, we have Etheric Aspects, Star Chaser Forms, and Savage Temperaments. There we go. Sorry, it was a drink. I feel much better now. But since I've shown you that, I'm not going to read everything out because there's a lot there.
There's a lot in this book. We were just saying that. I'm very impressed, actually. Yeah. What
we will read out, we'll have a quick look at the abilities on the next page for the different chambers.
So this is the
Hammers of Sigmar. So you guys can have a look. And I'll read this one out. So first to be forged. So the Hammers of Sigmar are your standard ones.
The first.
You add 1 to the bravery characteristics of friendly Hammers of Sigmar units. So across the board you get a +1 to bravery. That's good. The command ability is Soul of the Stormhost. You can use command ability when a friendly Hammers of Sigmar Redeemer unit is destroyed. If you do so on a 5+, a new identical one is set up. And then you can set up anyone on the battlefield from 9 inches away from enemy models. So you just roll a dice on a 5+, you basically get that unit back.
That's good.
Command traits. Hammers of Sigmar General must have this command trait instead of the one listed. We cannot fail. Roll dice each time you allocate a wound or mortal wound to a friendly Hammers of Sigmar unit within 9 inches of the general, or 6+ that mortal wound is negated. And an artifact of power. The first Hammers of Sigmar hero to receive an artifact must be given the God-Forged Blade. So, God-Forged Blade. Pick one of the bearer's melee weapons. If the modified hit roll for an attack made with the God-Forged Blade is a 6, add 1 to the damage characteristic of the attack.
Nice.
Next up we have the Hallowed Knights, and that's theirs. Which I shall briefly read out. Only the Faithful is a friendly Hallowed Knights unit affected by a spell or endless spell. Roll dice on a 6+, you can ignore the effects of that spell for that turn. Command ability is Holy Crusaders. You can use the command ability at the start of your hero phase. If you do so, pick a friendly Hallowed Knights unit within 9 inches of a friendly Hallowed Knights hero, or wholly within 18 inches of a friendly Hallowed Knights hero that is a general, and then you can add 1 to the run and charge rolls for that unit into the next hero phase. In addition, until your next hero phase, you can run and still charge later in the same turn. Command trait. Hallowed Knights General must have this command trait instead of the one listed on page 118. Martyr's Strength. Roll a dice if the general is slain in combat phase. On a 2+, the general can make a pile-in move and then attack with all of his melee weapons he's armed with before he's removed from play. Fair enough. He's dead. Smash. He's not quite dead. He's dead now, I think. He just killed all of my people. Artifact of Power. The first Hallowed Knight hero to receive an Artifact of Power must be given the Parchment of Purity. The Parchment of Purity. In your hero phase, you can heal 1 wound allocated to the bearer.
Yeah.
So next up we have the Celestial Vindicator, which no one really is interested in. There is the... There's the rules. I shall let Claire read those.
Is that just for getting your own back to what I said before?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
It is.
So, the abilities. Driven by Vengeance. You can re-roll hit rolls of a 1 for attacks made by friendly Celestial Vindicator units if they made a charge move in the same turn. Command ability. Righteous Hatred. You can use this command ability at the start of the combat phase. If you do so, pick a friendly Celestial Vindicator unit wholly within 9 inches of a friendly Celestial Vindicator's hero, or wholly within 18 inches of a friendly Celestial Vindicator's hero that is a general. Add 1 to the attack's characteristic of that unit's melee weapons until the end of that phase. A command trait. A Celestial Vindicator's general must have this command trait instead of the one listed on page 118. Single-Minded Fury. Each time you roll an unmodified hit roll of a 6 for this general, add 1 to the damage characteristic of that attack. Artifact of Power. The first Celestial Vindicator hero to receive an Artifact of Power must be given the Storm Rage Blade. Pick one of the bearer's melee weapons. At the start of the combat phase, you can add 2 to the attack characteristic of this weapon until the end of that phase. If you do so, subtract 1 from save rolls for attacks that target the bearer until the end of the phase.
Cool.
So.
Then we have the Anvils of Heldenhammer. And those are the rolls for those. I was going to read out again.
So, abilities. No True Death. You can re-roll failed battle shock tests to friendly Anvils of the Heldenhammer units. Command ability, Heroes of Another Age. You can use this command ability in your hero phase. If you do so, pick a friendly Anvils of Heldenhammer unit wholly within 9 inches of a friendly Anvils of the Heldenhammer hero, or wholly within 18 inches of friendly Anvils Heldenhammer hero that is a general. That unit can attack with all of the missile weapons that it's armed with, or make a pile-in move and attack with all of the melee weapons it is armed with. And there was absolutely no need for that, you big bully. Command trait. The Anvils of the Heldenhammer General must have this command trait instead of the one listed in 118. Deathly Aura. Subtract 1 from the bravery characteristic of enemy units while they were within 6 inches of this general. Artifact of Power. The First anvils of Heldenhammer hero to receive an artifact of power must be given the Soul Thief. Stop showboating. Pick one of the bearer's melee weapons. At the end of the combat phase, roll a dice for each enemy model that was allocated any wounds caused by this weapon or combat phase. On a 3+, that model suffers 1 mortal wound. And that was just plain evil.
Okay. We have the nice Excelsior. Oh, the camera's gone through. We have the nice Excelsior. And there are their rules. Feel free to have a look at those yourself. Getting a bit hoarse now for reading them out as well.
Yeah.
And then we have the Celestial Warbringers. And those are the rules there. We also have the Tempest Lords. There's 8 of these ones.
Wow.
Tempest Lords. And we have the Astral Templars. That's a cool name.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we have a battle plan for Avenging Strike. We have a battle plan for In Sigmar's Name. And then we have the Path to Glory rules. Champion rewards tables, kind of thing that's in the other battle teams. War Scrolls. So what's this?
It's the Sacrosanct Chamber.
Alright. This side a bit different from the other ones. Sacrosanct Chamber consists of 1 Grand Convocation, 3 Hailstone Batteries and 3 Cleansing Phalanxes. Actually this is set a bit logically because it's like these cover those.
Mm.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Especially since there's probably going to be a lot of War Scrolls in here.
Mm.
So these are the ones you're interested in. So we'll just have a quick look. These ones. There is the Sacrosanct Chamber. And these are each of the War Scrolls that go in it. I'll read those ones out. The abilities for the Sacrosanct Chamber. Obviously you need 1 of the Grand Convocations and 3 each of the other 2, which we'll get on to. Where its abilities are the Celestial Fulcrum. Start your hero phase, pick a Lord Arcanium from the Battalion, and the model can attempt to cast 1 additional spell that hero phase. The Grand Convocation consists of 1 Lord Arcanium, 1 Lord Exorcist and 2 Knights Incantor. And it can add 1 to the casting rolls for wizards from this battalion while they're wholly within 9 inches of 2 or more other wizards. The Hailstone Battery consists of a Lord Ordinator, a unit of Castigators, and 1 Celestia Ballista. And it gains the Hailstorm Strike, which you can reroll failed hit rolls for attacks made by the Celestia Ballista from this battalion if the unit of Castigators from the same battalion inflicted 1 or more wounds on that target in the same turn.
Mm.
So if you focus on your firepower with your Castigators,
Yeah.
and then you fire at the same time with your Ballista, you can increase your damage potential. Then we have Cleansing Phalanx, which is 2 units of Is it Evocators or it must be
Evocators.
Yeah. 2 units of Evocators and 2 units of Sequestors. I think we're going for that. Sequitors.
Sequestors.
Sequitors. Squirrels. I don't know.
Squirrels. Squirrels.
If a unit of Evocators successfully casts an power spell on a unit of squirrels from the same battalion, and the spell is not unbound, you can reroll to failed hit rolls for attacks made by that squirrel's unit. In addition, for the effects of the spell.
I'm really sorry, guys. You can tell we've lost the plot now because it's that warm.
I usually lose the plot when it isn't warm. So then we got Vanguard Auxiliary Chambers. Do you want to have a look at that one?
Yeah, I can read that one.
So let's put it up to camera so these guys can see. That's what's in the main one, and these are the parts that make it up. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So in the Vanguard Auxiliary Chamber, you need 1 Lord Aquila, 3 to 9 Knights Azeros, Knights Venerator or Knights Zephyros in any combination, 1 Vanguard Angelos Conclave, and 1 Vanguard Justicar Conclave. So the abilities are Azurite Hurricane, Add 1 to the attack characteristic of missile weapons used by models from this battalion that are not heroes. The Vanguard Angelos Conclave is 1 to 3 units of Vanguard Paladors, or 3 to 9 units of Vanguard Hunters. And the abilities are Aetheric Weight. When units from this battalion use the Ride the Wind's etheric ability, roll 9 dice instead of 6 dice for determining the distance moved. I'm sure you made me read that out.
Right.
Ride of the Winds.
Right, yeah.
Vanguard Justicar Conclave. 3 units of Vanguard Raptors. Raptors, even.
Raptors. This is Games Workshop. It could be Raptors. Raptors.
Sorry.
Maybe that's the non-copyright version.
Raptors. 3 units of Vanguard Raptors. 3 units of Aether Wings. Abilities: Flight in Concert. You can re-roll hit rolls of 1 for attacks made with missile weapons by units of Vanguard Raptors from this battalion. If the target of that attack is an enemy within 18 inches of any Aetherwing units from the same battalion.
Oh, that's the Vanguard one. Imagine there's a warrior one. It's Extremis, right? So if I was going to do one, it'd probably be an Extremis one. Lots of...
Yeah, I think that's more your kind of thing.
Well, the Wizards is quite my thing as well. So, dragons.
Bit of both.
Bit of both. Wizards and dragons.
Yeah.
Wizards and dragons!
Thing you film out.
Yeah. We're better than Dungeons and Dragons anyway, as far as film goes. Right, Extremis Chamber is 1 Celestiant on a Star Drake called Lord Celestiant on a Dracoth. 1 Lightning Echelon, 1 Thunderwave Echelon, and 1 Drake Swan Temple. The ability for the Extremis Chamber is Born on the High Star. At least it's not born under a wandering star, that's a different thing entirely. At the start of your first hero phase, you can transfer all reserve units from this battalion that are on the Celestial Realm to the battlefield. If you do so, pick a point on the battlefield and set up the units wholly within 24 inches of that point, and more than inches away from enemy units. Those units that cannot move in the movement phase after setting up those units, roll dice for each enemy unit within 18 inches of the point you picked. On a 4+, that unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. The Lightning Echelon consists of 2 Fulminators and 2 Tempestors units. And that's a Linebreaker Assault, their ability. Once per battle at the end of your charge phase, you can make a line-breaking assault unit from this battalion that's made a charge move in the charge phase. Pick 1 enemy unit within 1 inch of each unit making a Linebreaker Assault, and that enemy unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. It's a bit like the Jump Pack Assault. And then we have Thunderwave Echelon, which is 2 units of Concussors and 2 units of Desolators, and that's Ride of the Annihilators. Ride of the Annihilators. Subtract 1 from the Bravery characteristics of enemy units while they're within 3 inches of 1 or more units from this battalion. Okay. Then we have the Drake Swan Temple, which is 3 Drake Swan Templars. Nova Surge. Once per battle in your hero phase, you can summon a Celestial Wave. If you do so, each unit within 3 inches of any models from this battalion is caught with a Celestial Wave. Each enemy unit is caught in a Celestial Wave suffers D3 mortal wounds and heal D3 wounds allocated to each friendly Stormcast Eternal unit caught in the Celestial Wave. That's pretty cool. I like them.
I can see you getting some of them then.
We also have a Warrior Chamber. Which, see that there? I'm going to read these ones out because I said I'm beginning to lose my voice that warm. I need another drink at this rate. But that's what's in the Warrior Chamber. That's what's in the Harbinger Chamber. We have an Exemplar Chamber. Focus, camera, focus. There we go. That's what's in that. And those are the smaller war scrolls which go in it. Quite like the idea of sending it out like that. Yeah.
It's quite good actually.
Yeah. Then we have the Vanguard and the Devastation Brotherhoods.
Makes it easier to reference what you need as opposed to having to flick through everything.
Soul Strike Brotherhood. And then we have the actual waterfalls, whoosh camera that plugs into that. There's a lot of light in here coming from weird angles today. Celestian Prime, these are all online to download free, so we're not going to really talk about these much.
I think these will be in the battle.
Yeah, there'll also be the cards. Just turn the page.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Lord Ordinator.
Yep.
There's actually a lot for the Storm House, isn't there?
Well,
what you realise.
To be fair, they've been bringing out loads of stuff for the last 3 years since they launched Age of Sigmar, and because I've not had a lot of interest, I've not really been keeping track. So it was only when they started bringing the Vanguard stuff out, I thought,
And then that's it. We've got the.
Oh, we also have the rules for the things we're about to unbox. And
yeah.
Yeah, Celestial Vortex, I missed that. Dias Arcanium and the Ether Blaze Comet. We'll have a look at them after we've unboxed them, actually. Then we have the Pitch Battle profiles there, which are all in the General's Handbook as well. And the last page is some more Pitch Battle profiles. There you go. There we go.
That's actually a nice book because it's not filled with just pictures of the models.
Of painted models.
Painted
as nice
models.
as the painted models are.
Yeah, as nice as they are to see them, it means that they've put a lot of fluff in there.
There's
and a lot of
there's a whole bunch of lore at the beginning, which is made up of the stuff they've been building up for 3 years. And then we've got a whole bunch of war scrolls at the end. It's a nice thick book, that one.
Yeah, there's nothing in there that's not used.
And I do like the art style as well.
Yeah.
I like this. They've got along the edge, they've got the, like...
Oh, the world.
Yeah, it's like a map almost when you look at the back in front of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the book.
That was well worth it.
Definitely.
Now we have the box set of models for the endless spells. Which I shall let Claire open up.
Try and open up. Yeah.
It's like a challenge, isn't it?
It is, it's Challenge Claire, this.
Challenge Claire.
Yeah.
Now, what are you doing? So from the endless spells that you saw in our last videos, I have painted one. I'll show it off. It's the one I've done. I'm currently just starting to paint the other ones because I've finished the night haunt stuff. You may have seen a couple of that bits just looking around the video so far. Randomly.
Yeah, beating my little Stormcast up.
But I will show them off in the night haunt video a bit more. But that's the one endless spell that I finished painting. I'm quite happy with that. It's come out really well. I imagine my orcs will be using that because it looks pretty funky. Very orky, I think. Or beast-like. So if you're an ogre player, you're right.
Losing a battle with it, that's fine. Okay, go away now.
Right, so we can look at these.
These are gold.
Gold.
Nice.
Right.
Yep. There's the instructions.
So we have 2 sprues in glorious gold.
Yeah. So we have.
So we have the Dias Arcanium.
Should there be more bases or is?
No, one of the bases.
One of the bases are there. I just noticed then. Yeah.
So the Dias Arcanium consists of bring it up to the light a bit more, rather than moving the camera to there. But A4, A5 times 3, which are comets. Then we have A6, which is the stand. And that is all the parts.
Okay.
What it doesn't say is what size base that one goes on. The other base comet comes with its own base. And so I imagine it goes on the smallest of the bases. I'm going to put it on the small one. Because the whirlwind thing is quite large. So I imagine the whirlwind goes on that. And this one goes on this one. That's what I'm going with anyway. So that's A4. Which is cool. That's one of the A5 pieces. So they just fit on there. And there'll be 3 of those. And then the A5 bit is just like a base stock, isn't it?
Yeah. And
that's going to go in that bit in the middle there. So I'll tell you what, I'll just go and stick this together and come back when it's finished. Okay, so there is the first one. I think the idea behind that is when you summon it, you put your model on top of it.
Ah.
So that's why it's quite big, so it can fit one of those large bases on.
Alright, cool. So I can put that on it like that, can I?
Yeah, of course you can. So what's next on the...
Next is the Everblaze Comet.
Everblaze Comet. That's part A3, A2 and A1. 3 parts, really easy to put together. Because you've got one side of the comet, you've got another side of the comet. There's pegs in there, so they fit in. In fact, they'll fit together quite well. And then that goes on to the base. There's 2 sort of like pegs there which match up, and then that goes on there. Done. So I'll just glue that together. In the meantime, let's have a look at the next one. We've got A8, A9, A7 and A10, which make the whirlwind.
And those. Oh, I tried to keep them together.
So it goes like that, does it?
Yeah, there's little cutouts for them to fit in pegs.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, where the hammers are.
Yeah.
It's cutouts in the back of the hammers.
Yeah.
Right. And then that little pegs are there. It's just a case of matching them up into a whirlwind. So we'll do these 2 together and then we'll be back with them finished. Okay, so there is the vortex done. It's relatively stick together as long as you do it in 2 halves and then put them together. And if you just stick to the guides on where the holes are in the hammers, and there's the comet. Very easy to put together. So the actual spells, what they do, the Dias Arcanium, I shall read that one out. Dias Arcanium is a single model. Yep, it is. That one, you can summon a Dias Arcanium. It's a casting value of 6, and only Stormcast Eternal wizards can do that. That do not have a wounds characteristic of 6 or more, and are not part of a unit with 2 or more models, and are not already on a Dias. They can attempt to summon this one. If successfully cast, set up a Dias Arcanium model within 1 inch of the caster and more than 3 inches away from enemy models, and then place the caster on top of it. As long as the Dias Arcanium remains on the battlefield, the Dias Arcanium and the caster are treated as a single model. Enemy models is treated as an enemy model by the opposing army. A model on a Dias Arcanium can fly 12 inches in the move phase. If it's slain, the dice is immediately dispelled and removed upon play along with the slain model. If the Dias Arcanium is dispelled, the model is on it, has not been slain. Set a model up within 6 inches of the Arcanium and more than 3 inches away from enemy models. The Arcane Enhancement, while the model is on the Dias Arcanium, it can attempt to unbind 1 extra spell in each enemy hero phase. In addition, if the model is on a Dias Arcanium and attempts to dispel that Dias Arcanium, the attempt roll is automatic. And Wind's Vizier, while a model is on a Dias Arcanium, it can add 1 to the save rolls for attacks that target that model. There you go, that's what that does. That is the card from the
War Scrolls.
War Scrolls box. We're reading that from. The Everblaze Comet. That is a single model again. Summon an Everblaze Comet's casting value 6. Stormcast Eternal Wizard only. Successfully cast. Place an Everblaze Comet model wholly within 36 inches of the cast. That's a nice big range. Burning Vengeance. After this model is set up, roll a dice for each unit that was in 10 inches of this model. On a 1 or a 2, that unit suffers 1 mortal wound. On a 3 to 4, it suffers D3 mortal wounds. On a 5 or a 6, it suffers 3 mortal wounds. In addition, at the start of each battle round, roll a dice for each unit that is within 5 inches of the model. On a 1 to 3, it suffers a mortal wound. On a 4 to 6, it suffers D3 mortal wounds. And it's got Arcane Disruption. Subtract 1 from casting rolls for wizards while they're in 5 inches of that model. So it can't be moved, it's just like a massive comet going smack onto the battlefield, and it just pulsates where it lands. So if you land it next to someone who's camping out in an area next to an objective, or wizard, so if the enemy's got a wizard on an objective, that would really...
Smack, yeah.
That's the rules. No. You can download these ones, I think. And the last one is the Celestial Vortex.
So the Celestial Vortex, again a wizard can do this. It's Summon Celestial Vortex has a casting value of 6. Only Stormcast Eternal Wizard can attempt this spell. If successfully cast, set up a Celestial Vortex model wholly within 12 inches of the caster. The abilities are Swirling Doom. When this model is set up, the player who set it up can immediately make a move with it. Storm of Vengeance. After moving this model, you can pick one enemy unit within 1 inch of this model and roll 12 dice. For each roll of a 6+, that unit suffers 1 mortal wound. If the unit being rolled for is a Chaos unit, it suffers 1 mortal wound for each roll of a 5+ instead. Tornado of Magic. Subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks made with missile weaponry by units whilst they are within 6 inches of the model. It also has Predatory. A Celestial Vortex is a predatory endless spell. The Celestial Vortex can move up to 8 inches and can fly.
There you go.
And there is the card for that. There we go.
So they're quite cool then.
Yeah.
I think they're a nice thing to add to an army, to be honest.
I like the fact that they're different coloured plastics as well, so even if you didn't want to paint them...
Yeah, that's an option. You could just paint the base and leave the rest of the model in gold or whatever. It's
it would seem a shame not to paint them.
No,
but I suppose if you didn't
want to... In which case the coloured plastic's a bit irrelevant, but if you didn't want to paint them, you've always got an option, like the Purple Sun from the previous box set is actually purple. Yeah. So, there you go. There we go. So that is the Stormcast Eternals for this week. Yeah. Claire's going to go away and find out what she wants to add to it, because obviously there was a Stormcast Eternal model that came out. There's a lot that came out this week. Actually. And we're not sure how much of it we're going to get, and I'm going to go away with the Night Haunts as well and have a look at that. So in the next video we're going to do the Night Haunt stuff. Stay tuned for that. It should be today as well, and then we shall see you for that. So if you've enjoyed our video, please give us a like. If you like us that much, you want to subscribe to us, please do. If you think we're great, then tell your friends about us. The more subscribers we get, the more we can do, basically. Other than that, you guys take care. Stay tuned for more Age of Sigmar shenanigans.
Thanks very much for watching.
Thanks for watching.
See you soon.
Bye for now.
Bye.